Hello lovely stitchy friends, I'm Kat and I'm delighted to welcome you to my channel Catkin and Lily, where we talk all things cross stitch. If you're new here, then I hope you'll enjoy seeing my cross stitch updates, what I've been getting up to for the last couple of weeks. And if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much for coming back to spend a little bit more of your precious time with me. I hope you've got some stitching at the ready to be getting on with while I chat all about what I've been doing over the last few weeks, because as you might expect, I've got quite a few whips to share with you, and some other really good stuff as well. Now, talking of good stuff, I actually do have to start with a huge thank you. I know I've already thanked all of you who subscribe to my channel and come back to watch me week after week, but I've just hit another very big milestone. I now have 7,000 subscribers, and I say it every time, but I'm absolutely blown away by the number of you that come back and watch me. 7,000 just feels absolutely incredible. I really couldn't believe this when I started this cross-stitch journey and when I started doing my floss tubes. Well, in fact, I actually started out doing tip and tutorial videos, and it morphed into doing FlossTube, because when I started, I didn't know about FlossTube. And there are so many floss tubes out there now, so many fantastic people to watch, which just makes it all the more special when you rock up and sit and watch me and spend time with me. So I'm hugely grateful to all of you. Now, I usually show that appreciation with a giveaway, but honestly, I'm going to save it because I have mentioned previously I'm going to be away in Iceland for a few weeks, and my head is full of all of that and a whole lot of other stuff. And I just have not got myself organised to do a giveaway this time round. So watch this space. I just wanted you all to know how much you're appreciated. I have not forgotten about you. I have not missed that milestone. How could I possibly miss that? It's incredible. So we will park that for now, and I will be back to that in the next floss tube. So what else have I got for you, apart from not having a giveaway? What I have got for you this episode, and I completely forgot to say, it is the 1st of October. I possibly avoided saying that because I cannot believe that it's actually October, but here we are. I have for you, I have a finish. Yay! Love a finish. I did mention I have a lot of whips. I think I still have about, let me check my little list here. I have about 10 whips to share with you, and a new start. So very exciting. So that's one finish and one new start. So I'm not getting anywhere, I think it's fair to say, on reducing my whip count. And what else? No FFOs, no fully finished objects. I've got, what have I got later? Oh, not really any new stash. There sort of is, you'll see why, but not really, but we'll come to that later. And AOB. Oh, and plans. So yes, lots to do, and I guess we will... No, I was about to say we'll dive in with the whips. We won't dive in with the whips because I have the cross-stitch ramble first. So this is my little cross-stitch related story, and I had something arrive the other day that made me think about boxes. Bear with me. You'll soon see where I'm going with this. Because have you ever had something be gifted to you or arrive and you were more excited by the box that it came in because you could use it for some stitchy stash? Hands up if you've ever been more excited by the box than what was inside it. Yes. I see you all out there raising your hands, and if you're not, then you might be very new to cross stitch, and you probably will be at some point in the future. And this even extends to if you're at friends, family, work, and someone else has something in a box that you think would be amazing, and you're trying to work out whether you can ask them, could you please have the box? I'll show you what I'm talking about, because this is the time of year as well where this really kind of starts to hit home, where I start to get excited for tins of biscuits. I'm sure some of you do this as well. I'm going to show you the tin I got last year. I was so excited to get this to keep some stash in. I didn't care about the biscuits. I don't actually think I even ate the biscuits. I think I gave them away. But this is the tin that I got. Now it is clunking because I have got something inside it. This is the top of the gorgeous tin, and then it's got gorgeous little reindeer all the way around the side. So it's beautiful tin, this one, and the reason it's clunking is I've got, I don't know if I can show you in here without it going everywhere, it needs a bit more filling, but I've got, can you see, I've currently got my metallic threads in here. So I've got various metallic threads, I've got some spools of cry knit and all sorts in there. So that's why that one is a little bit rattly. But that one I've used to keep all my metallic threads in. I'm going to put that down before I make any more noise with that one. One other one I got recently, we went to the Lake District. Lovely husband Dr. Tim and I were in the Lake District, and we stayed in a cottage, and they left a little welcome gift for us, and it had this. The gorgeous little Kendall mint cake tin. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Kendall mint cake. I gave it to my parents, but I did want the tin. Again, the first thing I thought was, I don't care about the contents, I just want the tin. And this one hasn't got anything in it yet. It's just a lovely little tin, completely empty, ready for me to put something nice in there. So, to be decided. I've even had this one. I had this box. So this is a little skinny box. This was from Tart and Berry, who I don't think exist anymore, but this had some sweet treats in it. It had like some brownies or something. And this one currently houses some additional supplies. I've got to try and not throw this on the floor, so I'm only going to tip it slightly. This has got some extra threads and bits and pieces in for Gaia the Earth Goddess. So I've got beads, I've got some extra threads, I've got some metallic threads in here as well. So it's all the little extra bits that I need for that particular cross stitch project. So yeah, that one, absolutely love that one. And this is my pièce de résistance, and this is what got me thinking about boxes, because this arrived a couple of weeks ago, I think. So some of you may know that lovely husband Dr. Tim works for Liverpool Football Club. So occasionally he comes home with some, little bits of swag and what have you. And he came home and he had this box. Look at that. This is a pretty chunk box. So nice deep box. See, with the logo on the front. And yeah, immediately, I didn't care what was inside it. I just wanted the box. And I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet. This one is also still empty. But yeah, it's got a lovely, undone the ribbon on the front, and then you've just got a lovely box there. So I'm very excited to find something to put in that one. I'll put that back on the floor, I think. Keep that out the way. So yeah, boxes. So over to you. Tell me in the comments if you remember by the time we get to the end of this video, because goodness knows how long this will be. Remember to come and tell me what's the favourite box that you've ever had, box, tin, bag maybe, whatever you've had that you just didn't care about the contents, but you just really, really wanted the box, because I think we've all been there. And as I say, I'm very excited to see what tin or other container I can potentially snaffle as we come up towards Christmas time for putting cross-stitch supplies in. Okay, so that was the cross-stitch ramble, and now we really can get on to, well, no, we still can't get to whips. We still can't get to whips because I've got to finish. Well, I guess I could do that anytime, but we're going to do it now. We're going to do the finish. And my finish, I'll put the info panel up for you so you can see anyway. This was the Happy Halloween stitch along from the Historical Sampler Company, which finished, I was in 4 parts. The last part actually came out quite a while ago. I've been really slow finishing this. I was very close, actually 2 weeks ago when I showed you, I was really close to finishing it, and I was umming and ahhing about whether to swap some of the black stitches for beads. I did not. I tried the beads, decided it looked better with stitches, so we've just gone stitches. And here it is. That is the completed piece. Let's give you a little look at the gorgeous motifs. I really enjoyed stitching this. I love these little stripy legs. I love the cat on the broomstick. Those little pumpkins. Look at that little witch in the corner there as well. So cute. This one is probably one of my favourites actually that I've done. Really enjoyed that. And I'm going to do something, well, it's not that unusual for me because I do often show you the back, but I'm going to show you the back because I had quite a few questions. You can see there's a lot of bits in here, particularly, you know, with the motifs where each colour, you're quite a long way between each colour. You've got these stitches down here and you've also got little orange dot stitches in here. So I had a couple of people ask me, do I do this individually? Do I carry the threads? I'm going to show you the back. I think it will answer that for you. So, because I'm not that precious about showing you the backs. This is the back. And yes, I carried my threads. I did start off, I think there's some in there where I started possibly, did I start at the top? I don't know. I'm sure there's some places I maybe thought I would do them individually, but I didn't. You can see I've carried my threads for these dots. I've carried my threads along in the border. I've carried my threads for these ones. Although you can see with my orange, what I've tried to do with the orange here, I've done the stitch, I've gone down, run along the border and back up to where it is, rather than running along that way. So I've carried the thread, but tried to do it so that it won't show. And that's really my reason for carrying, is because I have not got time to start and stop and start and stop. Nobody's got time for that. And I think I was probably lucky because this is on Ada. Carrying threads won't show as much. It's not really light coloured. It's lightish, but not super light. So again, you probably won't see it. And it did work for this one. It's not always possible, but yeah. For this one, I carried my threads all over the back and you won't be able to see it when it's finished, which, yeah, that's kind of my point. If you're not going to see it, carry those threads. So that's my finish. I was chatting to one of my lovely stitchy friends about what I might do with it when I'm finished, and I think I could get a frame for it, but I am wondering if it's just possible to do a paper craft finish with it. I don't know, to be decided. We'll come back to that one. Right, dare I say we're on to whips now. I think we've made it to whips. It's not like I've got note to or anything to remind me. Oh, wait, yes, I have notes. I still don't know what I'm doing. We're into whips. And I've got them all laid out here ready to go. So I am starting with the huge one. I'm starting with Chromatic Dragon, which is artwork by Mikey Bergman, charted by Pain-Free Crafts, and it's getting big. Now, full disclosure on this one, I've actually not done super loads. I was having a look and yeah, I've only done 888 stitches since the last time you saw it. It's actually not very impressive. That was only 2 days and I think I got sidetracked doing lots of other things. So here's where it's at. Oh, can't even, look, it's getting too big for my board. I'm going to need a bigger board. I keep saying that, I haven't made a bigger board yet. But that's where it's at. And the bit I've been working on is still in here, which is probably why it was only 800 odd stitches, because, yep, we're still in confetti. Confetti nonsense. So, looking great, but yeah, still in the confetti nonsense. But it does look so good when it's done. And I think there's probably, you can still see the progress, even with 800, well, nearly 900 stitches, wasn't it? It's not too bad. And that puts me at 25.8%. So yeah, still really just inching forwards with that one. But yeah, until I get my whip count down, I don't think I'm going to be making much faster progress with that one. It's just still nice to pick it up and just put that little bit in and just keep pushing it forward little bit by little bit. Next one is the Jingle Bells Stitch Along by the Historical Sampler Company. we are having a little bit of a historical sampler company fest today. It's kind of always the case really, because I do love their designs. Now this one, this also doesn't fit on my board. I just have to kind of go with it and hang it and hope that you can see it. This one was the stitch along from 2023 that I'm trying to finish before the stitch along for 2024 starts. And again, I'm so close, I'm so close. This is how close I am to finishing. Pretty close. So I've been working down at the bottom, and I think I was just finishing this one last time you saw it. I think I was finishing that, and I've done all of this little box. This box I'm leaving. This is my bit that I'm saving to the end. That's my favourite bit. There's a little Santa type image in here and I adore it. So that's going to be my last bit. So I came back and worked on the door. So you can see that cute little wreath in there as well. That's almost finished. Now, the only thing I found with this, that is it. That's the whole of the door. As soon as I finish the red in here, that's all done. And it feels a little bit bare. It does feel a little bit bare compared to some of the other designs. Now, I actually bookmarked last year when this SAL was running. There were a couple of people had added extra bits to the door to make it just look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to go back and revisit that, because I think there's a couple of things, particularly people had done it where they put like panels, just a couple of extra lines so it looked like panels on the door. So I think something like that could just really lift it. So I'm definitely going to look at doing that. And the other bit that I have to fix is, not fix, but potentially want to do differently, is this gap in the middle here. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will put the picture back in again. You can see there's a really pretty sort of white lacy bit with 2023 in the middle. And I don't really want to stitch 2023, not least because it isn't 2023. And I don't know, I just didn't really want the year on there. So I'm going to find something else. I've got a couple of ideas, something else to put in the middle of that instead. So it's very, very close. And if I was stitching it exactly as is, it would definitely be finished very soon. But because I want to do those slight changes, that might take me a tiny bit longer. And there's only a couple of weeks until the new stitch along starts. And as I will talk more about later, I am going to be in Iceland for a couple of weeks. So I don't know quite what I'm doing with this one. I might just have to crack on with it and before I go to Iceland and see how much I can get done. So we'll see. Anyway, it is getting very close, and hopefully that will be done at least fairly soon. Right. What have we got next? Stitch alongs. We're still doing stitch alongs. I have got quite a lot of stitch alongs at the moment. This one is the Wonders of the James WebbSpace Telescope Stitch Along by Climbing Goat Designs. Now this one, the picture up there will be showing you part 9 that's out. Part 9, and there's only 10 parts. So there's only one more part to go, and I am just trickling along with this one. I have had the odd times when I've kind of just stepped away from it for a bit and then come back. I have been doing my kind of thread a day approach on some days. It's definitely not all days, but I'm getting into another of the images. So there's the whole thing. Let's see what, show you that one. And I've been working on this one up here, and I'm maybe half done with that one. So it's quite a nice one. It's not too bad. It's not crazy confetti. There's quite a bit of dark stitching. I just love that. It is so nice. It is a little tricky to stitch, but yeah, it's nice just to pull it out, give it 1 or 2 threads, and then pop it away again. So just sort of throw that in on some days when I feel that my eyes are up to stitching on that, then I'll pull it out and just give it those couple of threads. Next up we have, oh now I've buried these because I brought these in separately. Next up, this is one you've not seen for a bit. This is the 2021 Halloween Club 1 designs from Shannon Christine Designs. Now I started these, actually I should know when I started these, 28th of April 2024. So I started these back in April, stitched on them for a little bit, and then they just went by the wayside. And given that my brain is now going, please can you actually get some more finishes and get that whip count down a bit, I've gone back to these, and it's Halloween coming up. So it would be really nice to have these finished and up for display for Halloween this year. That was the point of starting them back in April. So yes, it would be very silly not to finish them. So let's see, I can do both of these together, I think, probably. Let's put these on here. So I've got these other two designs. They should stay on there, she says. So that's the two. I think I started this one first and then went in on this one. And there isn't loads left to do. I have done some more just recently since the last time you saw them, particularly on this one. The last time you saw this, I hadn't quite finished the top of the hocus, and I've done the little pumpkin. Oh, and I've done this little bottle. And on this one, I've added in some of the sparkly. I've done the star in there, so I started on that. So yeah, that's two whips. I am counting them as two. And they've just really got, it's mostly just metallic to do on there. There are some beads, and that's the only thing that might hold me up a little bit, because I'd ordered the beads, but this is 18 count fabric, and I think it's 18 count fabric. Well, my thing told you what fabric it was. I actually can't remember, but I think it might be 18 count, which means the regular beads are going to be way too big. So I need to either swap it for some metallic. I've done that before with Shannon Christine Designs and it does look really nice, or get the tinier beads. So yeah, there might be a tiny delay on this, but I could definitely get to the point of at least having finished all the stitching and then just have the beads to go. So yeah, just had a sudden urge to pick those ones out and work on those. So that's been fun. What's next? Oh, we have Gaia, the Earth Goddess. I've got her upside down. I will put her the right way up. This is another one this is going to get silly to fit on my board, but she is beautiful. Gaia, the Earth Goddess is absolutely stunning. Now, before I show you where I am, I will actually say that I started this on the 2nd of May because this was my birthday start. And I started it alongside Andrew, the runner stitcher, who has been making some really lovely progress on his. And also Emma Bobbins, who has finished hers, bar a few beads. She ran out of a couple of colours of beads, so just a few beads to go. I can't believe she's finished it. That's insane. It looks amazing. Definitely go and check her Instagram out. She's definitely shared it on there, and hopefully she'll do a FlossTube at some point to show it as well. But it looks amazing. I love it. I love it on the fabric that she chose. Her stitching is absolutely exquisite, and with the beads on as well, it just looks incredible. But enough about everyone else's. I'm going to show you mine. This is where I'm at. And I have been working this time in this bottom section here. So I've been finishing doing some of the water lilies up here, some of the foliage, and all up here as well. Some of these little bits down here have got metallic thread in there. This metallic thread, actually, this is the crunchiest metallic thread I think I have ever worked with. For all that, it was not awful because it didn't really fray. So very crunchy, but didn't fray. So it's lovely to be finally finishing the bottom of this section, and we can gradually work upwards. Yeah. It looks amazing. It looks so nice, that one. I absolutely adore working on that one. I know a lot of you really love seeing the fancy ladies as well, and yeah, I really enjoy working on them. Now, from fancy ladies to very, very cute, because the next one is the Arctic Animals Stitch Along by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So we've had part 5 of 10, I think it is. So I can't believe this is actually halfway through. Is it 10? Maybe it's 12. It might be 12. Yeah, we can't be halfway through. Well, I'm not halfway through anyway because I haven't finished part 5. So part 5 was the adorable little, you'll see on the picture, the little Arctic hare. So cute. And I have a soft spot for little bunnies. And I don't have a little bunny. I haven't quite got to him yet. Well, I think I have bunny feet. So I've sort of set the stage for him. I've stitched all the underneath bit. And I think he's got his feet. But as yet, no actual bunny. And this part, there's actually, you can see I've done a little bit of it here, but there's actually, because this part is quite small compared to the others, in part 5 it also came, there's some water to stitch underneath here. But for now, I have just, as I say, I've set the stage for the little bunny, ready for him to hop into there. Maybe on Sunday, I think I might get a chance to try and get him finished up. I'd quite like to get him finished before I go to Iceland because I think the next part comes out while we're away. So it would be good to get that one ticked off because I've been really amazed. This is the only SAL I have at the moment, and possibly the only SAL ever, that I've actually been keeping up with. So I'd quite like to keep on with that. Nice, just to have just one SAL that I actually keep up and stitch when it comes out. We shall see. Right, next is, we're into Christmas again. I'm going to turn my board around for this one. This is Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I am loving this so much. This one's been out for quite a few days. Oh goodness me. I'm trying to unroll this. It's got a bit rolly at the bottom. Yeah, I've had a few days on this one. Let's see if I can show you where I'm at, because this is going to be interesting when it gets much longer. This is where I'm up to. So, as you can see, I'm going to give you a little scroll from the bottom. Yes, my snowman still has no face. In fact, I now have 2 snowmen that don't have any faces. This one's finished as well with a little dog here. So we've got the build a snowman section, so that's all finished. Just started in on the text here. And excitingly, this point here, that is halfway. So you can see how long this is going to be. That is halfway. So I've got quite a lot to go. This one is it's just amazing, and it really is. I keep saying it, I think it's that variegated red thread. It's so stunning to work with. But also the cute motifs, the text, it just has everything in it that I really love. So yeah, I don't know how much that one's going to get over the next month, but we shall see. Still going. Next up is When Life Gives You Lemons. Also upside down. I'm on a kick today. Apparently my brain is desperate to show you all of these upside down. Which they'd still look lovely, it just wouldn't make as much sense. Especially when they've got text on. So this is the pattern that both Mum and I are stitching at the same time. Mum from the top down. And I'm stitching mine from the bottom up. And actually I need to see if I can ask Mum for a picture. I'll ask Mum for a picture. If I can, I will put that one in somewhere here with the magic of editing to show you, because Mum has reached the halfway point from the top down to the halfway point, and I have reached the halfway point from the bottom up to the halfway point. So if they were both in the same room, we would have one, actually slightly more than one, complete piece. So that would be exciting. So here is where mine's at. And that halfway point is somewhere just about here, I think. So somewhere near the top of that text. This is lovely. This scrolly lemons bit, that was so much fun to stitch. I really enjoyed stitching that. And now, I apologise, I do have a couple of working threads. I try not to, but this one's definitely one where I need a few parked threads. I've got this text heavy little box on here which says gives you. So I've just started in on that. So yes, I've got a couple of threads because I was working on this one at my sister-in-law's on the weekend just gone. We had a lovely day with them, and I was stitching a little bit on this one and a little bit on Christmas rules. So since I kind of had to just put it down unexpectedly, or as and when I was done, I've got a couple of threads hanging out on there, but hopefully it won't be too long until I can work some more on that and get rid of those threads. In fact, I think this one was getting quite a bit of attention because I was giving it a day of the week and I was also stitching it as my football project. But we've got a couple of football games, there's usually 2 a week at the moment, so I'm going to keep lemons just for football, and I've got another project I can move to the day that I was stitching on the lemons. And we are almost there. This is the last whip to show you, the last whip that isn't a new start. And this is my work project. So this is, I thought last time it didn't have a name, it does have a name. It's called Reindeer and Tree. And this is a little mini kit that was in the Historical Sampler Company's Advent box from last year. So it's one of the mini kits. And here we are. It is actually looking quite a bit more progress than last time you saw it. I think I finished the reindeer in here, started on the second reindeer. Yeah, now I am making a teeny tweak to this one, which is that this reindeer is supposed to be the exact mirror of this reindeer. But I decided I'm going to swap the colours. So I'm going to swap the blue to pink and pink to blue so that it will be mirrored on this side. So he's got a pink saddle, then a blue present and a pink present. I just thought it would mix it up a little bit. So yeah, it's a really nice little work project, and I don't actually think it will need too many more days and it might be finished. That is all the whips, but I did say I had a new start. And I talked about this last time, that I was going to start the Wrendale otter design that was in the World of Cross Stitching magazine. And I started this along with Soph and loads of other lovely ladies. And I'm really excited with the start I made on this one. I managed way more than I thought. I started it on the 22nd of October with the other ladies who were starting it at a retreat day that they were on. And I started it on the same day, but I have stitched it, I think, on a couple of other days since then, because I was quite excited to work on it. So here is my start. So I started down here with all this watery, this is all half stitches. So I think that's why I actually managed to make quite a good start, because obviously the half stitches didn't take so long, although there was some very careful counting going on here. So it wasn't exactly the fastest, but I did get to this leaf and I'm pretty happy with the fabric here. I think this is going to look lovely on this mint splash fabric. Yeah, that's an absolute delight. So I say I started it on the 22nd, put in a couple more days, and then I haven't touched it again since. So I would like to do a little bit more on that one. But I've just shown you 11 whips, including that new start, and have said I'd like to stitch on all of them, which is clearly an impossibility, especially since I'm going to be in Iceland for a couple of weeks. So that's obviously not going to happen. Now, let me see. I'm going to put my extra bit of notes up here so I can see what else I need to tell you guys. Right, new stash. I did allude to the fact that I had something, but sort of not something. Basically, I have something, but I'm not going to show you, which seems kind of mean, but hold that thought, and I need to try and reach this because it's quite big. Since I said that, you might know what this is. This is some pretty epic stash, and it's all going to rustle. It's going to clunk around. Is this? Yes. I was extremely excited to come home in the past week and find this box waiting for me. So this is my Advent box. and it also has the stitch along contents in there as well. Now the reason I'm not showing you, I'm not feeling particularly mean. I will be showing you, but I didn't really want to spend ages and ages on it in this video, so I'm going to make a separate little video for you and put that one out probably in another week or so. So watch this space, subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber and you don't want to miss it, then make sure you subscribe, and I will be showing you exactly what's in that box, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting. So other than that, actually no new stash, which is kind of crazy for me. So yeah, that feels very weird. But that means we can move on to plans. And as I say, a lot of this revolves around the fact that, as you see this, in only a few days, I will be off to Iceland for 2 weeks. So obviously that's going to have a bit of an impact on what I'm stitching. Before I go to Iceland, I have some bits and pieces I really want to do. So I think my usual things I have on specific days, all that kind of stuff, is going out the window. I'm going to do whatever I fancy in the next few days, potentially to try and finish some things up, or just to work on stuff that I really want to work on that I won't get to work on while I'm in Iceland. So yeah, that's kind of stitch whatever the heck I feel like for the next few days until I go to Iceland. And then when I go to Iceland, I really love to have a new start to take on holiday with me. So I probably will take 1 or 2 of the whips that I've got here. I'm still trying to work out what, but I did want a new start. And I showed you a couple of weeks ago the Pigeon Coop Designs cross stitch in the forest book. I can't remember if that's the name now. Anyway, I showed you the book and I was really keen to start something from that. But I then realised that I have this pattern. Let me see if I can find it. I've got it tucked away here. I've buried it under my whips now. I have this little guy. So this is what I'm going to take to Iceland with me. Because it's a nice small design. And I've got here, I'll show you, it's not too many threads. There's the fabric and the threads. Ugh, they are not going to hang nicely for me here. There we go, it's marginally better. That's the fabric and threads that I've got picked out, ready to go for that. And the other reason is that this will match with the little squirrel. This is the Pigeon Coop Jolly Squirrel that I stitched last year. And I thought, let's put them together. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. I thought these would make a beautiful pair and lovely autumn patterns to have out on display. Mind you, I thought I would have this squirrel out on display last year. In fact, this morning I was trying to prep everything for this video and I searched high and low for my FFO of the squirrel and where I might have put it. And I have not FFO'd it. That is why I could not find it. I was looking for it in a hoop and it isn't. As you can see, it is not in a hoop. So that sort of explains why I couldn't find it anywhere. Well, I did find it eventually, but it was in my pile of needs FFOing. So I will get that one finished. I will get that one and the owl hopefully finished for display this year. That's the plan. So that's my stitching I'm going to take with me. And yeah, maybe something else as well. Anyway, I will have a think about that one. There's only so much cross stitch I can take. I know we're there for 2 weeks, but I think we're going to be busy doing lots of other lovely things in Iceland. So I don't know how much stitching time I'm going to have. Now, actually, talking of FFOs, that reminds me that the other bit of my plans was to have a check of the Whip Go calls. So I'd finished my Whip Go calls for September, and the October ones have been very kind to me because the calls were to do an FFO. So if I finish the squirrel, that would be that sorted. So that hopefully will be done. And the other one was for a new start, and that's the owl. So I'm actually really pleased that the October Whip Go calls with everything else going on, I'm really pleased those will actually just be super easy to knock out the park. And I think, no, that's not all my plans, because the other thing that I'm going to take with me, I have already mentioned, I've shown you the box from the Historical Sampler Company with the Advent box, and as I mentioned, the Stitch Along contents were inside that as well. And the Stitch Along starts on the 14th of October. And I'll be in Iceland. So I'm going to take it with me. Because why not? I know I'm going to be so excited to start it. I know I might not have finished my 2023 Stitch Along, but I think it would just be another lovely, lovely project to have with me. I really don't want to get behind on it. I would love to keep up with it. So I'm going to take that with me. And as soon as that part comes out on the 14th of October, I'm diving straight into that. And I might even share a little bit of me doing that from Iceland. Yeah, if I can, I will share that with you. Right, anything else? Well, I think I've done AOB enough, because I've mentioned Iceland about 11 billion times already in this video. So yeah, that's pretty much me for the next couple of weeks. But I do have one other little exciting thing before that, which is that Tan, the monogamous cross-stitcher, is having a birthday stitchy day. So gathering of some lovely stitchy folks, and that's happening on the Saturday just before we go to Iceland. So I'm so glad I'm going to be able to go to that. I was really excited to be asked. So thank you, Tan, for inviting me. And I'm just super excited to go and spend the day with lots of other stitchy folks. I think I will probably get to meet a few people who I already know, and some people that I sort of know online but haven't met yet in person. And maybe get some stitching done. Maybe just socialising and eating cake. That would be totally fine. Either way, I'm really excited for that. So of course I'll have that to share with you, and probably a lot of Iceland pictures. And of course all that means that I will not be here with another FlossTube video in 2 weeks' time. It will be 3 weeks before I am back with you. And yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one, because there might not be a ton of stitching for once. You'll get respite from my, 11 whips. There might be a few. Depends how much I take to Iceland. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a different one, but I hope you'll join me back here in 3 weeks' time. And as I've already mentioned, I will have a video to go up a week after this one. I will put out my video with the unboxing of the Historical Sampler Company Advent box and Stitch Along. So definitely don't miss that. And I'm hoping I will manage to get another video ready to come out also while I'm away. I'm hoping to do a stitch with me with Chromatic Dragon. I know a few of you have been really excited to see that. So fingers crossed I can get that filmed for you. And then before you know it, I will be back here sat on the sofa waffling all things cross stitch to you. So if that all sounds good, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, then as I say, please make sure to subscribe, give this video a little like, do all the YouTube things, because I would love to be able to reach more stitchy people and just share my joy of cross stitching. Otherwise, I will get out of your hair. Thank you so much for watching. Happy stitching. Bye for now.